I would jump on here and share with you just a little research I just did on, and I'm doing some more, but I'll bring you with me on this. Thanks for having a cup of coffee with me. I hope your Tuesday, I hope your week is going beautifully. So here in Vermont, it's like 48 degrees right now. It is nice and sunny. We've got some leaves turning, and we'll be looking at those leaves this week. We'll go for a walk and where we can see a lot of the trees changing. So today, we have a raven out here. And I mean, yeah, it's the size of a dog. I mean, it's absolutely huge. And I'm gonna try to get a picture or video of it and then like zoom in. But today I just wanted to share with you, for those of you who don't know, the difference between the crows and the ravens. But then I also did, I just want to do a little research on the ravens in Vermont. So we're going to read a little bit about that. It's an AI summary, but we'll check it out. So I'm going to flip the camera here and show you. These are the two birds, obviously. Okay, so you see the crow over here. You see it's a little more narrow. It's a little smaller. And the raven is, for those of you who already know, yes, the raven is a larger. So let's see here. This is Cornell Lab, the Bird Academy, that I just kind of went directly to it. It just gives a very brief, excuse me, a very brief description of both of them. But it says, how are you in IDing your crow and raven? So thank you for having a cup of coffee with me. We got a little fly in here. Okay. Usually, so the American crow, the size, it's usually about 20 inches in length. And that's still a pretty good size. So you can see why sometimes people get a little mixed up between the crow and the raven. And but the raven is 27 inches in length. So you think about that. You know, that's over 2 feet in length. And plus they stand higher, which I don't know if they're going to say that. So the bill is a moderate bill, often slightly smaller than the head. And with the raven, it's a large bill and it's longer than the head. For those of you who study your birds, you'll notice very quickly how even deep and wide in the length of the diameter, basically, of that bill. I wish I could get more detail on that, but they're just giving us this. We'll go more into it the closer we get to Halloween. And hopefully, if I can get the raven that we have up here on video. We have a lot of them. We do have a lot of them up here. And then as I'm traveling, when I travel a couple hours south, guess what? I see fields and fields of crows. Okay, so the crow is slightly rounded, tall when flying. And the raven is tapered tall. I'm not sure what they're saying there. Tapered tall creates a diamond shape, okay, when flying. So they're just saying if you're a birder and you're looking up, that's how they're talking here, and you're looking up to see if it's a crow or a raven. Now they've got sound, so we're going to listen to that too in a few seconds. So the wings, 5 broad feather fingers, this is for the crow, American crow, is visible when flying, and the average wingspan is about 36 inches. That's 3 feet. So for the raven, check this out, 4 long, narrow feathered fingers visible when flying. And the average wingspan is 46 inches, so it's almost 4 feet. I mean, yeah, that's quite big. Now, it says, have you got all that? So put these cues to the test. Okay, so this is just the highlights they're giving us for those of you who are birders. Okay, and then they have a little app on here for you to practice your skills. Oh, we may take a look at that in a minute. Okay, let's get the sounds here, see if they give us the sound. Okay, that's the raven. They did the crow first.
Hi, I'm Kevin McGowan. I work in the education section of the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. I've also been studying crows for over 25 years, and I'm interested in everything that they do. American crows are the...
So the raven, let's listen to that again. Hopefully they let us hear that again, but let's listen to the crow again. Okay, so it's a little high-pitched. And here's the raven. Kind of a water, like a liquid, almost a liquid sound.
I work in the education section of the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. I've also been studying crows for over 25 years, and I'm interested in everything that they do. American crows are the ones who do the standard caw, caw kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the crow.
But they also have a large repertoire of rattles and clicks and even clear bell-like notes. The rattle is often used along with
their language.
Standard sort of territorial caw, caw.
Something we're going to go into also is the language. As you know, people will have a crow or a raven for a pet, and they have extensive language. I don't know if he's covering that here.
Kind of things. And we don't really know what it means, but it may mean something to the rest of the family, like, yeah, go get him, I'm with you.
Exactly.
The caw-caw is essentially the same kind of thing as a bird's song. It says, I'm here, and this territory is taken, so you guys better stay out if you don't have any good reason to be here.
So, you know, when I look at these videos, I have to stop them every now and then and make a comment because, probably not with Cornell so much, but because they do give, they have this website just out there for everyone, but I like to do that and give my reaction on it. Oh, look, they have hawk and raptor. We'll have to cover those too. But this is that's the raven right here.
That's their very common grunk kind of call, and it always makes me smile.
Much more to it, it seems, huh?
The little chuckly notes are...
Chuckly is a good way to describe
sort of
it.
Distance communication. It may be a young bird actually just talking to itself, or it could be a bird that's doing some kind of...
Check out the wingspan here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you know, they said there were like 4, like you see 4 fingers. I guess they're talking about the longer ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4 that you would see in the sky. But, you know, I see 6 automatically, quickly. What about you? What do you see? But that's a raven.
Communication with another bird that's flying with it. Crows and ravens don't sing to defend their territory, but they have complicated lives and communicate with other members of their family all the time. They do caws and gronk kind of things that are advertisement for their presence at home, to tell everybody else that they're still there and at home, and they listen for those for their neighbors so they can understand who's still around in the territory. The calls by individual crows and ravens are distinct enough that they probably recognize each other certainly within their own family,
I'm sure.
Their own pair, and probably within their own neighborhood too.
You know, the other bird that does a lot of calling is the blue jay. That's the American crow. So I love the Cornell Lab. Okay, so that's the academy. If you want to look it up specifically, this was under academyallaboutbirds.org, or you could just put in Cornell Lab, and it comes right up, the Bird Academy. So I'm going to put this down, and what I had been checking out was this. I wanted to, for the Vermont, for people coming through Vermont, people who love birds, if you're, and or you live in Vermont, let me get this on here better there. This is just a little snapshot information of the ravens, because this is what I'm really interested in. Yes, common ravens called Corvus corax are present year-round in Vermont, and they're becoming more common, especially in the areas with the cliffs and forests. Though they were nearly extirpated in the state's past, these large, intelligent, and they're very intelligent people, very intelligent. Blackbirds are excellent foragers, found in various habitats, including forest, foothills, and sometimes even near urban areas. So we have, like I said here, we have a number of ravens. They are not crows, they are ravens. And I'm going to try to get them on the video or get pictures of them for you. So again, the raven can be identified by their large size, their long tail, and distinctive deep croaking. Oh, that's an excellent way to say it. Croaking call. Yeah, that's the kind of sound they have. So the status in Vermont, presence, common ravens are here year-round. The raven population in Vermont has been increasing and recolonizing in the state over the past 20 years. So I'm up in the Northeast Kingdom, and I'm going to tell you, when I was in central Vermont, I did not see a raven. And you're talking 50 years here. Okay, come on now. I have not seen ravens in central Vermont. Let me know if you have. But the more north, so then I moved up north, and I saw like maybe one, two, infrequently. I did not really see. Up here, I'm seeing families. This is up near Canada, the Canadian border. I'm seeing families. Now, where I was in the north before, I was 40 minutes from the Canadian border, so I didn't really see them. But the habitat, they thrive in the areas of cliffs. That might be why, because we're up here more in the mountain area and foothills and the mountains. So identification, we went through that a little bit, that they're very large, they have a long tail and distinctive wing beats. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know the distinctive wing beats. We might look into that. So we just listened to the vocalization, and they have more of a gurgling, kind of a croaky, kind of a call. Their behavior is they're known for acrobatic flying, often flips and rolls in the air. So, you'll see eagles do that. I saw an eagle the other day, flew right over me, but it had flown from a distance. I didn't know what kind of bird it was, but then it was flying across the street and flew back, just kind of floating back. But it was doing aerials on the way to where it was going. So it must have been going for some food. Foraging and diet, they're opportunists and are omnivores, and they eat almost anything they can, including small animals. So check this out. Eggs, insects, berries, and carrion. Okay, so that we know, but the small animals, I'm going to be honest with you, I was not absolutely sure that the ravens went after small animals. So yeah, if you have a tiny little dog, or you have pet rabbits, you have animals like that, or chickens, you might want to keep a close eye. If you are in a part of Vermont, and mind you, this is saying that the ravens are actually increasing in number. So the winter habits, in the winter, they're often seen foraging for food near compost piles, so that's smart. And of course, garbage cans and carcasses on the road. Comparison to the American crow, both the ravens and the crows belong to the Corvidae family. And the differences are, yes, the ravens are larger, longer tail, different vocalization. So we went over that. Conservation, historical persecution. Ravens were once the target of widespread hunting by settlers due to perceived damage to their sheep and lambs, leading to the near disappearance of them in New England. So I did not know that. So they were actually hunted just because out of fear. So the current factors, the ravens' return to Vermont is such because due to protection, forest regrowth, and healthy deer population. Because remember, they feed on carcasses. So that's a little bit about the crow and the raven. Oh, I guess I did bring that down. And so I thank you for being with me this morning. And that's just a little information. I think I learned something for sure. First of all, I didn't know that they were hunted so extensively that they were nearly extinct. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that they're making a comeback. I think they are such an intelligent bird. This particular raven, that's a few yards over. It's across like a driveway in a yard. But I can see it watching me. And their eyesight, like they can see through. Like, if you're looking out your window, they might be looking at you. So, and the crows are super, super intelligent too. We're going to go over the intelligence in their language at some point, just a little bit, just out of curiosity. But anyway, so that is, if you're coming through Vermont or you live in Vermont and you're looking for the ravens because you're a birder, closer to, I would say, I bet you to farther south from here would be more Smuggler's Notch. Okay, if they're near the mountains and the cliffs, check out, or maybe Jay Peak, check out the ski areas and the outskirts of the mountains there. There's lots and lots of cliffs, especially in Smuggler's Notch. So if you're coming through Stowe, Cambridge, and you're coming up, that might be a really good area for you birders to check out the ravens. But they're definitely up here in the Northeast Kingdom, like all over the place. So with that, you have a very beautiful day. I send you love and light.